Yeah, things have gone really well so far. We have a big freshman class, and everybody's working really hard. I mean, I think, after last year, and they were really encouraged by how well they did. They're really encouraged by the talent that the freshmen are adding to the team. While we graduated, 5 seniors last year, and they had an impact on the team. We brought in a lot more bodies than we lost, and so I feel like there's really a strong positive attitude among the women this year. The practice has gone well. People, I can already see, especially in the freshmen, a lot of improvement, and I can see a lot of the things that we worked on last year have really stuck with the returning women. They had a much better starting point this year than they have in the past. We only have 4 seniors: Jenny Baglia, Katie Carrasco, Amanda Jones, and Emily Vander. And they were a small class when they came in, and thankfully we have Amanda Jones back this year. Last year, halfway through the season, she had a problem with blood clotting that was associated with contracting COVID. And right up until the week before this practices started this year, we didn't think we were going to have her back. The doctors literally cleared her full participation a week before we started practice, and she looks good. She kind of more or less just picked up where she left off. She's worked really hard to get back, and she had done a little bit of things to prepare, but with the expectation that she wasn't going to be able to participate. And she's going to do a nice job of adding to our butterfly group. Jenny Baglia had a great season last year. Kind of came into her own a little bit. Really, developed in the breaststroke and the butterfly events and the sprint events. And she's really excited about where she's at and how she's doing, and motivated to build on last year's success. There's Katie Carrasco that. I feel like she's now really starting to get a feel for a better feel for her fly stroke. She's a distance swimmer that just has a great attitude, such a positive outlook on everything, and has a great impact on the team in that regard. And Emily Vander, same idea. Like last year, one of the few swimmers who didn't have some best times. But she also was dealing with some nagging ankle injury. She sprained her ankle 3 times over the course of the year last year, and so it was just constantly a struggle to be able to do some things. Pushing off the wall was hard. Doing kick sets was hard. So she's healthy this year. She's student teaching right now, so she's a little more fatigued than she would be. But I'm really excited to see her have a strong final year here. Well, with the juniors, we've got 3 Rachels that have just really been a huge part of the program so far. Rachel Wallace is the defending champion, the 200 butterfly, the 50 free, and the 100 fly, and she's always motivated to improve. I mean, every day asking, what can I do to get better? What can I do to get better? How does this look? And I think last year she just barely missed making her B cut for nationals. She's got a couple freshmen who are going to be pushing her this year, and I think it's been really good so far. I expect her to have another fantastic year. Rachel Ledford, it's amazing to me at this point. She is posting times and practices that are comparable to what she was doing at the end of the season last year, which at this point in her career is kind of unbelievable. She's really excited. I can't wait to see how her season develops for the backstroke, and her goal is to go out and win the 400 IM this year, along with both backstroke. Well, to be competitive with both backstroke events, because the backstroke is very deep in the conference with some women from other teams. Same with Rachel Grubbs. She's again really strong in those backstroke events. She actually posted a faster 100 backstroke time going into the 100 back than Rachel Ledford did, and then Rachel Ledford posted a better final time. So they're both going head to head, and even in some things that we've done in practice. I mean, they're racing, and it's a constant battle to see who's going to be faster. There's some other people. Maddie Tipple has really done a great job sprinting for us, and Sylvia Klein is she is kind of the glue that holds everything together. Sylvia, I love when the other women on the team talk about Sylvia, because they always say about how she's the hardest worker and how she has such a positive attitude, and she brings a lot of energy to the team. Sylvia has improved a lot over the course of her career so far, and I can see a lot more improvement already this year. I don't know if it'll be enough yet to break into the conference scoring roster, but at the same time, she inspires her teammates every day, and I think that's really that to an extent that's had a bigger impact on the team's success so far than what's the actual times achieved by the other swimmers. One more junior, Sarah Gann, defending champion in the 500 free. And she's one of our team leaders, leadership coordinators this year. She is really she's super motivated. She works really hard, especially during the off season. She comes in, she works as hard or harder than anybody in the weight room. Constantly challenging herself, constantly looking to see how she can improve. And she's not satisfied. She won a conference title last year, but she believes she can go a lot faster. She's looking forward to competing, again for that conference title in the 500. She feels that she should be right up there with the 200 freestyle. And the challenge for her is which direction do we go for her in her third event? Is it a butterfly event? Is it the 100 free? So she's always looking to see how she can do better. Really looking forward to this season for her too. Led by Liz Hassey, she just had a phenomenal year last year. I think the course of the season as a freshman, she dropped 5 seconds in her 100 free. She also swam the 50 free and did really well there. Although we're not entirely sure that's her best event. One of her top 3. She really her freestyle ranges from the 50 to the 500. And last year she just wasn't quite comfortable with the 500. She'd swum a lot in high school, and with all the downtime with COVID, shutting everything down, she just never was confident with that race. So that's something we're going to explore a little bit this year, and see. She races Sarah Gann, all the time in practice and in meets too. So I think that's potentially a great event for her. We also have some Emma Auten, who had a strong freshman year. She's the kind of swimmer who during the season she's worked so hard that her dual meet times don't necessarily inspire the idea that she's going to finish high at the conference championships, but because of that hard work and that the incredible work ethic she has, she drops a lot of time at the conference championships, and I can see her being under a minute in the 100 fly this year, and and being top 8 in the backstroke events and maybe the 200 fly. We also have Kylie Swann, that last year, and she's an interesting case because last year we trained her as a backstroker. We felt that was a good event for her, and then late in the season she said, I kind of like butterfly. Yeah, okay, and you're also pretty good at the IM events. And because of the shortened season, because of the limited number of dual meets and the opportunities to race, we didn't really get an opportunity to explore a lot of those other avenues with her. So having more meets this year and having this meet coming up on October 16th, it's going to be great to see what she can do, because I really believe that she's going to have a big impact on the team this year. And Hannah Miller, another sophomore, she had actually taken a lot of time off, like multiple years off, and didn't have very high expectations for herself coming in as a freshman. And you could see those first few weeks last year that it was just taking her time to get back into a groove and get her stroke back. But as the season went on, and once we got into the dual meets in the second semester, you could really see her improving week by week. And at this point now, she's light years ahead of where she was a year ago. She's being challenged by some freshmen on the team in the breaststroke events. She also wants to swim the 500. She feels that that's a great event for her. So we're really looking forward to, now that she's into a second consecutive year of training and practicing a stroke technique, that she's going to have another big jump again this year. Well, obviously with the freshman, the first one we have to address is Michaela Jenkins. Coming off of the Paralympic Games here at the end of August, beginning of September, winning a couple gold medals, winning the S9 category S10 category in the 100 fly, and competing in the 200 IM, the breaststroke, the backstroke, winning a gold medal on the 400 medley relay. Those life experiences, the things that she's learned through that, and she, it's incredible to work with her, because she really, works so hard to improve, and watching her from wall to wall swimming butterfly, she's so powerful. She's really fast, and so I think as time goes on, like her goal is to be a national qualifier to go to the NCAA championships, which I think she has that capability. I mean, she's very driven, very motivated, but like the other athletes on our team, she's also very, very supportive of her teammates. She's challenging them. She's supporting them. She's congratulating them. There's no hubris there. Those life experiences, the championships that she's won, I think those are going to have a positive impact on the development of the team. You can even see that with some swimmers like Sarah Kushma, that's another butterflyer and a sprinter. How she has interacted with Michaela and how she has interacted with Rachel Wallace and the upperclassmen. She's very disciplined and a very hard worker. We expect some great things from her. I mean, she was a Wiel qualifier last year at North Hills, and which was a challenge with the limitations that the Wiel placed, to get through the pandemic. We also have Michaela Jenkins that came from Katanning, that's a really strong breaststroker, and in freestyle, I think she's going to do great in that middle distance freestyle. So she's been pushing Hannah Miller in practice. Izzy Koistinen, it's interesting seeing Izzy she's really good at the freestyle, and we see some great potential in the breaststroke as well. I think that she's going to have a big impact this year. Olivia Gaddick, another seems like everybody on our team swims butterfly these days, but Olivia Gaddick is another good butterflyer, another IMer. Gabby Phillips, she's another one that's I think is going to be very. If she doesn't end up on the conference roster, it's going to be because it's coming down to maybe her and Amanda Jones. I think that they swim the same events, and they're going to be challenging each other all year long. Emma Plank, when she was younger, had some shoulder issues that she took some time to recover from, but she has a lot of talent, and and there's also already some things that we've kind of ironed out and we're working on. That she also, I think, over the course of her career is going to have a tremendous impact on the team in the backstroke, the butterfly, the freestyle events, and possibly the IM. And finally, because sometimes working with the swimmers so much and leaving the diving practices to my wife Tammy and to Coach Fred Evanoff, who's helping us out this year. We have a new freshman, Cameron Kerr, who looks fantastic on the boards. I mean, she's got great control. She's got a full list on both boards already. And it's a lot of learning some new dives, some higher DD dives, and the diving coaches are really excited about what her potential is this year and how far she could go over the course of her career. The keys are going to be to just to keep getting better, to keep pushing each other to get better, to keep working hard, focus on how we can lift each other up. I think it's always difficult when you're the defending conference champion to maintain that level. But I think as long as the women stay as hungry as they are and motivated as they are, that we're gonna push again for a conference title. I think it could be a close meet, but I think as long as the freshmen assimilate into the team culture, it should be a great year.